Hi runners, welcome to today's lesson. Remember, I'm Digital Teacher Benson Kabachia, your favorite YouTube teacher. I welcome you to today's lesson. We are going to learn on science. We're going to major our topic on properties of matter, and we are going to discuss on composition of air. Welcome. Remember to subscribe in my YouTube channel, like, share, leave comment for further improvement. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about properties of matter, and in our subtopic, it will be composition of air. Runners, in our previous lesson, we say that matter is anything that occupies space and has mass or weight. And this topic today, we are going to major on air as a component or an example of matter. When you talk about air, we say that air is a combination of many gases. With me, I have a pie chart that represents the composition of air that we are going to deal with. A pie chart is a circle graph, and in our case, we are not going to deal with degrees, but we are going to deal with percentage that represent the composition of air. Our pie chart, we are going to measure with 4 gases, namely nitrogen, oxygen, inert gases or layer gases, and the last one is carbon dioxide. As you can see on the pie chart, nitrogen almost take 4/5 of the pie chart, which is 78%. So in our case, nitrogen is represented by 78% on our pie chart. It is followed by oxygen, which take 21%. The third gas is inert gas or the layer gas, which takes 0.97%. And lastly, we have carbon dioxide, which is represented by 0.03%. Learners, if you sum up the 4% that are given, for nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, inert gases 0.97%, and carbon dioxide 0.03%, you end up having 100%. As you know well, 100% represent the whole value. So learners, the pie chart will appear in your exam. You should be able to identify the largest part, which takes 78% is nitrogen. The second largest, which is 21% oxygen. The third largest is the inert gases or layer gases, which takes 0.97%. And lastly, the least is carbon dioxide, which is 0.03%. These gases are very important in our day-to-day life, and they have their uses. We're going to see the uses of oxygen. Uses of oxygen on today's life. Oxygen has 3 main functions, and the fourth one is a disadvantage, which we are going to see. The main functions of oxygen are: 1, breathing. Our body requires oxygen for respiration to take place. So when we breathe in air in 2 ways. We have carbon dioxide and oxygen. Our body requires oxygen, which combines with food to give us energy. Then carbon dioxide is breathed out. So we require oxygen during breathing. Secondly, oxygen is used in burning. For combustion to take place, oxygen is needed. If there's no oxygen, burning cannot take place. So oxygen is a very important component when it comes to burning. The third use of oxygen is what we call germination. Learners, what is germination? Germination is when a seed develops into a seedling or a young plant. For a seed to grow, it requires suitable warmth, it requires moisture or water, and finally it requires air, which is oxygen. So oxygen is required in germination. The fourth one and the last one, which is a disadvantage, is that for lasting to take place, oxygen must be present. When you talk about lasting, if you happen to forget your tool outside, be it a jebe, be it a paga, during the night, when the dew or water moisture come into contact with that tool and the presence of oxygen in there, you'll get your tool in the morning have brown spots which are in form of rusting. So for rusting to take place, oxygen is required. So runners, we have 4 ways in which oxygen is used. 1, during breathing. 2, during burning. 3, germination. And last 3, lasting. Most of these experiments, especially in burning, we normally do an experiment in burning whereby we have a basin, we infert a glass of water, we have a candle with us, then we put water. What happens when we light the candle? The following takes place. As the candle burns, the 21% of oxygen that is present in our glass is used up. Then what happens? The candle will go off. When the candle goes off, the water in the basin will decrease. Hence, the water in the inverted glass will rise. This is clear indication that the water has risen on the glass to occupy the space that was occupied by oxygen, which has been used by the candle during burning. Learners, know the 3 observations that you're going to make. 1, the candle will go off after some time. The water level in the basin will decrease, whereas the water level in the glass will increase. That shows that oxygen is required in burning. For germination, we require a very simple experiment whereby we put some seeds in a container, be it maize or bee seed. We add water. When we add water, then we pour some oil on that container. The layer of the oil will prevent the entry of oxygen. Hence, germination will not take place. So this is an experiment to show that oxygen is required in germination, whereby if you have 2 containers, one container with water and seeds, and another container with a layer of oil, in this container, germination will not take place. No germination. But the other container, where there is water and seed, germination will take place. This is to show that oxygen is required in germination. Germination will take place. So these are 2 examples whereby we can do experiment to show that how oxygen is used. Learners, let's go to the next component. And the next gas we're going to deal with is carbon dioxide. which is 0.03%. There are three main uses of carbon dioxide. One, carbon dioxide is used in making plant food. So, for plants to make their own food, carbon dioxide must be present. Remember, plants are the primary producers. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. For plants to make food, one, there must be chlorophyll. Two, carbon dioxide. Three, sunlight. Four, the plants must have absorbed water and mineral salts. So, for the process to be completed, carbon dioxide must be there. So, carbon dioxide is used in making plant food. Two, carbon dioxide is used in preservation of soft drinks. Preservation of soft drinks. When you talk about soft drinks, talk about things like soda and beer. For sodas and beer to stay for a long time, it must be preserved. They are preserved using carbon dioxide. Mostly when you open a soda, it produces a unique sound when the carbon dioxide is getting out. So carbon dioxide is used in preservation of soft drink. That and last use of carbon dioxide, it is used to put out fire. Putting out fire. Or it is used to make fire extinguishers. Those cylinders that are used to put out fire contains carbon dioxide. So, carbon dioxide is used to put out fire. So, it is used in manufacture of fire extinguishers. Learners, making plant food, you can have a very simple experiment whereby you tie some leaves on a growing plant with a black polythene bag. After a few days, you'll find that the leaves turns yellow, meaning the sunlight was not able to reach the leaves. So carbon dioxide is used in preservation or is used in making plant food. Learners, we go to the next gas, which is inert gas. Inert gases take 0.97%. Inert gas, there are very many examples of inert gas. We have the argon, we have the neon, and the rest. The inert gases or layer gases have only one function. They are used in making electric bulbs. Inert gas is used in making electric bulbs. So this is the main function of inert gases. They are used in making electric bulbs or what we call the fluorescent tubes. So the main function of inert gases is making electric bulbs, advertisement boards, and the fluorescent tubes. Lastly, the largest component of air, which is nitrogen, which is 78%. This one is used, has one function. We normally say it is used by legumes, used by leguminous plants to make proteins. Nitrogen is used by leguminous plants to make nitrogen, to make protein. Learners, as you are aware, leguminous plants are able to absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix it to the soil using what we call the root nodules. The root nodules are the swellings that are found on the leguminous roots that are able to convert nitrogen into nitrate and fix it into the soil. So nitrogen, which is 78%, It's used by legumes or leguminous plants to make proteins. These leguminous plants are beans, peas, green grams, groundnuts, and many more others. They are able to absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere, make protein with it, and the rest is fixed into the soil using the root nodules. Learners, this is what we talk about composition of air. We have the pie chart with us, well drawn, well illustrated. The largest component, as we have said, is nitrogen, which takes 78%. In mathematics, we say it is almost 4/5. We have nitrogen, we have oxygen, which is almost 1/5 of the air. And with this chart, you can be able to answer any question. You have talked about the uses. We shall revisit them. You have said uses of oxygen are breathing, burning, germination, and lasting. With us, you have 2 experiments that you can carry out to investigate how oxygen is used in burning and in germination. You also have the 3 uses of carbon dioxide: making plant food, preservation of soft drinks, putting out fire and making fire extinguishers. We have the inert gases, which is 0.97%. It's used for making electric bulbs. And lastly, we have the largest component, which is nitrogen, 78%. It's used by leguminous plants to make protein. Learners, that marks the end of our lesson. And I hope you are going to get knowledge about composition of air. You'll be able to answer any question that comes on your way on composition of air. Thank you very much for watching. It's my prayer you're going to subscribe, share, like, and leave comment for further improvement. Thank you and welcome to the next lesson next time. I'm your teacher, Digital Benson Kabachia.